Stay tuned for today's Antidote, brought to you by the Renegade Success Network. Today's Antidote features a healthy dose of thought-provoking insights and information for business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and nonprofit professionals. Each day since March of 2020, this program has offered that one thing to help you continue on your own unique pathway to success. And now, Renegades, we bring you Bob Graham and Tom Brush.
Thursday. Hey, Tom.
Good morning. How are you, Bob?
Good morning. I'm well. You look like you're coming to us from a hotel room in some secluded part of the world.
Yes, I'm hiding out in a hotel in Dover, Delaware. So I'm not hiding out anymore. Although you just have to figure out what hotel in Dover. Yes.
That would not be a fun task for a variety of reasons. Are you near the raceway? Can you see the raceway from your window?
Not from my window, but I'm fairly close to it.
Okay. Hey, Tom, I got to jump in. It's a big day.
Oh, Lord. Yes. What day is it?
It's National Chicken Wing Day. 2 in a row you like, right?
That is a good day to celebrate. There is no doubt about that.
I had a choice. It's also National Lipstick Day, and I decided that wouldn't appeal to you. But I know you're a chicken wing person, right?
I am. I try to
grew up in northern New York in the middle of nowhere, and all you guys had to get through the busy winter was buffalo wings, right?
Well, because the wings are the leftover parts of the chicken. That's why. They didn't know what to do with them, so that's how they created the chicken wing.
And in the last couple of years, there's been a real struggle to have enough chicken wings because they're so popular at bars and restaurants. So there was actually, about 2 years ago, there was such a dearth of, nice word, dearth, right? Of chicken wings that they were selling boneless chicken wings at a discount. That's why if you think about 2-3 years ago, they had boneless chicken wings. It wasn't because they wanted to really sell boneless chicken wings. It's just they were cheaper than chicken wings because the supply and demand issues got involved. Now, I personally am a boneless chicken wing person. I don't like any food that requires you picking it off. I can tolerate ribs. I won't eat crabs. I won't eat lobster. I don't like chicken wings. I don't really understand. Like, I know people, you're probably one of them, that, no offense, but you eat the chicken wing and you get all the gristle and all that stuff. And yeah, it doesn't work for me.
You're a Maryland born and lived all your life, never gone anywhere else, and you're not a crab person. I missed that comment. What was that?
I never have picked a crab, nor do I intend to.
Wow.
I eat maybe one crab cake every 2 years. Like, I was out last night and someone was eating a crab cake and it looked really, really good. But it didn't encourage me to buy it enough. I don't like seafood. I'm not. And to me, if you're going to eat chicken, I like a nice chicken breast with no bones. I want to cut into meat.
Okay. Wow. Interesting.
So let's get to our topic.
Okay. I kind of like the conversation about chicken wings. What's your favorite chicken wing? Oh, you said boneless. But if you had to eat, well, you're not going to eat it on a bone. So you can't even get to the whole, is it Old Bay? Is it really super hot?
No,
is it
you can
mild?
get boneless wings. You can get boneless wings, but you got to watch out because they really turn out to be chicken nuggets. They bread them and all. That's not good. I like Old Bay's good on them. Something sweet and sour can be good. Nothing hot, nothing spicy. What about you?
I am a mild, extra crispy chicken wing. That's my order.
Okay.
I will eat an Old Bay wing.
It was crispy and extra crispy. So.
Oh yes, absolutely. That I like that little crunch as a part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyone who's been around me with wings knows that's my order. Extra crispy, mild.
Okay. All right. Well, you and I have not. We've only eaten out once since we've done this endeavor.
I know. And
we ate at a nice restaurant,
wings.
and they didn't have chicken wings.
I wouldn't have ordered them from that place anyways. The hard part about growing up in upstate New York, upstate Western New York, is you become kind of a chicken wing snob. There's a lot of places that I've tried to order chicken wings and been extremely disappointed in the result. So you have to, once you've had the best, sometimes it's hard to go back.
I almost understand. I was going to say I understand. We've got some comments coming in. I'm trying to make sure I know who said them. So I'm a little distracted for a second. Nothing is coming easily to the computer today. Yes, so Tim said, good morning. He also said Bob's word of the day, dearth, a scarce supply. I actually used it right. And then his more recent comment was he had to say Old Bay because he's got to represent Maryland somehow. Who doesn't eat crabs? I get that question a lot. Yeah, but you're not from Maryland.
Right. That's what's so odd about it. Like all the Maryland things, you're like throwing out the window. I'm like, geez, what's going on?
I used to say to me at least 2-3 times a year, she'd be like, he doesn't like crabs? No, Mom, he doesn't. Well, what about any seafood? Now, what about tuna fish? Like, I'm sorry, that's in the same. Just because it comes in a can doesn't mean it's some other category. I don't get it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Jean's telling us she doesn't eat crabs either.
Well, because Jean's from Jersey, remember?
Yes.
Different.
I don't know what they eat in Jersey.
Yeah, I don't either. Even though I was born there.
Well, you probably think I never self-edit, but I just did. Tim also says, once you've had the best, it's hard to go back. That's a quote for Tom Brush.
It's a good one, right?
That's a keeper. All right, let's get to our topic, Tom, because I got somewhere to be at 8:30, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, it's the way it goes.
I'm the one dragging this out. I'm the one who's got to be somewhere. I get it.
That's all right. So today all week, actually all month, we've been talking about branding. This week, we've been talking about sharing your brand. And we've gone through like, why does it matter? Yesterday, we talked a little bit what happens when it misses the mark. And I think that was interesting. So I put up a post about, and I think we talked about this yesterday, about the Olympics and Ralph Lauren with the branding. And I put that on LinkedIn and I got a bunch of responses, many of which were saying, yeah, once it's great to be consistent until you figure out that it's not working. And I think a great question, and I think a great thing to talk about is how do you identify success with branding? Because branding is really just about awareness in some regards. Yes, you want people to act. And it's hard to sometimes get the right call to action in branding. So what are your thoughts about that, Bob, about identifying success or where you've seen success?
I can answer it in 4 words.
Okay.
I've heard about
I can answer it in 3.
I've heard about you. That's all.
Okay.
That was when I knew my branding was working. When I was going to meetings, networking, or I'd meet someone, they'd be like, I've heard about you. And I'd say, oh, what did you hear? And they're like, you're the bigger pie guy. You help come. The first time it happened, I about kissed the person. I wanted to like give them the biggest bear hug ever. Like, oh, 18, 20 months of hard work is finally paid off. And someone else a couple weeks later from that went up. I met him at a networking event. He's like, wait a second. I'm like, okay, he pulls out his portfolio and he pulls out a business card. It's my business card. It's like a friend of mine told me I should call you. So weird that you're right here. I was like, there it is. So that's when I think you're making progress because people recognize it. Now you got to do a lot of work. That doesn't come the first time you go somewhere. That's consistent messaging over and over and over. That's talking to people. That's networking. That's one-on-one discussions. That's sending out a newsletter. That's being a guest on podcasts. That's all these things that you can do to get your brand out there. But at some point, someone's heard it enough that they go, wait, hold on. I know this guy. And turns out that guy that had it in his portfolio was my ideal client. And we ended up working together. And I didn't sell him. He had sold himself based on what he had heard about me from, he said, several people.
Well, someone else sold him, which in some regards is the best way.
Not in some regards, in every regard. You can sell me all day, Tom. I'd rather you talk about me better than I could ever talk about myself. If I talked about myself the way you could talk about me, it would sound very conceited. It'd be like, you can't do that. But if you go, no, I've been around him. He can do this. He's legit.
Well, I think that's the difference, right? Is that hopefully your branding creates an awareness. And that awareness has then others doing your selling for you. So when somebody talks to them and says, geez, I'm really struggling with X. Okay. So if a nonprofit was talking with a friend and they were like, hey, you know what, I'm really struggling with trying to figure out our fundraising and our board is a pain in the neck and I just can't get them to act. And they were like, well, you should talk to Tom Brush because, I've talked to Tom. I know him. I know he's done work with other organizations. He might be able to help you. And so then we're not selling at all. Then it's our branding that has done the work for us and allowed others to go out and be our marketing, which in some regards I think is the best marketing, when someone shares with someone that they know, like, and trust who we are and how we might be able to help them. That to me means your branding has truly worked because those people are out there talking for you. It's not just you saying it, which some people may or may not believe. And
your branding has given them the words to start that discussion. If you just talk about it, and I talk about this in the Renegade Way. There's a plug for the Renegade Way. There you go. Got that in.
Nice.
One time I heard my wife describe what I do, and it didn't land the way I really wanted it to. It wasn't bad, but it's like, hey, can you do me a favor? If someone asks you, or if you're explaining what I do, can you say this? She started to say that, and people at parties would come to me. They'd seek me out. Like I was talking, I think it's your wife over there. Yeah, that's my wife. She was telling me to do this thing. Can I talk to you for a minute? She could, once I gave her the language that I thought would resonate with people, first of all, it made her job easier because describing what I do is not easy. But when you have the language, I think that's what, I know the language of what you do, Tom, because I helped you build the language. And I know what you do because I hear you tell me what you do. The average person doesn't know. You could,
right.
I work with nonprofits. Well, that's pretty broad.
Very broad.
And that's part of the challenge we have with our brand, right? I do marketing. I build websites. I do e-commerce. I do, I'm an accountant. Well, are you a small business accountant? Are you a big accountant? I was talking to a lawyer yesterday, and he was describing how he does small business law, and he just wanted to work with a small business lawyer on the other side. But the other side, the lawyer does slip and fall, car crashes, all these things. And he said, it's really hard to deal with someone who doesn't know the language. We're so niched down in most industries now that we've got to be really clear about who we serve and how we serve them. And our branding really is the way to do it. And when other people can describe it in a way that people hear it and go, hey, that's real. Did I lose you?
Well, it's interesting. No, well, briefly for a moment, but I'm back.
Okay.
It was interesting that you started off by saying that I can describe that in 4 words. And then shared a few more than 4 words, which is good. And I think it was great. I think it reminded me, as you were talking about the first time we met. We met at a networking event, and I went to another networking event after that. And the way you shared your message, Tim will like this because it was back when it was Bigger Pie Strategies. And I went to another event, and someone at that event was like, yeah, I just am trying to get more clients. I'm trying to get a bigger piece of the pie. It's like, I know who you need to talk to. And I think in some regards that was success for you, is that you were able to share your message enough that I was able to walk to a next thing, having barely met you.
Yeah.
but have met you enough and heard enough to know, like, okay, this is somebody that somebody should talk to. And I think it actually turned into a client for you,
It did. Absolutely.
which is exactly what, I mean, that to me is identifying success. You know, if we want, I know you need to go, so I'm going to throw in my one thing. I'm just going to jump in here. How about that?
Go ahead.
I think you can identify success about sharing your brand when others can tell people they know, or when people they know say, I have this issue, and they can say, I know the person for you. Those are I know the person for you. Those are my 6 words.
I thought you were going to have to take off your shoes to count.
I was getting close. And I think when others are able to correctly share with people they know what we do, I think that's when we've had success.
Can I modify that one? I agree with you on everything, but I don't know if the words correctly, effectively.
Okay.
I don't think there's a correct way to share it, because if I'm sharing what I do, I vary it for different people. If you're a company, I might talk about this aspect of what I do. If you're a small business, I might talk about this. If you're an individual, I might talk about this aspect of it. The ability of someone to know this is what Bob does that could help you. And they can make that connection, because what did you say to that guy? I know a guy you should talk to.
Right.
You probably gave him a little more information, but you didn't give him a lot. Just you made the connection. If you tell me, Bob, you got to talk to this person, I trust you. If you told me you got to talk to this cement mixer guy, he sells cement mixers, I'd be like, okay, that seems odd, but Tom says I should talk to him, and we expect to get on the phone, and he'd be like, hey, so here's my issue. Oh, wow. If you know me well enough, you will tell others about me in a way that makes them want to at least have the discussion. The fact that you connected me with someone and we ended up doing business, that's way beyond what I'm looking for. If my branding is working, I just want to get into discussions. Once we get in the discussion, that's on me, right?
Yes. I think the one thing about it is, how many times have you, and maybe not you, because what we do is, although maybe, when someone comes to you and say, hey, I was told I should talk to you, and what that person shared with them was completely off base.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I think it happens a lot if you're, a lawyer, you sell insurance. I worked for a university, and I had someone who shared my name often, and I really wasn't the right person to connect to. I could give them a name, but I didn't really have much influence. Right. So I think that being sure that when you hear someone say, hey, I need a lawyer, and that what they really need is a divorce lawyer, and you send them to someone who's a small business lawyer, that person's going to be like, well, Tom didn't really get what it is that I do. Maybe I need to circle back with Tom and be like, hey, Tom, this is the type of law I practice. And so I think that's a critical piece of the brand, is not just, oh, he's a lawyer, so he can talk to anybody about law. Right. In reality, he's a lawyer that does small business and really focuses on this type of business. Now I'm really clear on what his brand is, and who, when someone says this, I'd be like, you need to talk to this person. Yep.
All right, Tom, wrap it up.
You don't want to do your one thing, or your one thing was just to put effectively rather than correctly?
I want it to be effective, not correct. I'm ready for you.
Oh, boy. All right. So, everyone, thanks so much for joining us today. If you have one thing you'd like to share, or a comment, or you want to tell us what your favorite chicken wings are, please do feel free to put it in the comments below, or you can go inside the Ring of Renegades Facebook group and share it there. If you are not yet a member of the Ring of Renegades, it's easy to do. Just go to Facebook, search for Ring of Renegades. Now, it is a private group.
I like it.
It is a private group, so you just have to ask to join and tell us why you're a renegade. And then you can become a part of our growing community of people trying to help themselves and others identify their next step on their own unique pathway to success. And so with that, I hope that we will see you inside the Ring of Renegades, or we'll see you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m.
Eastern time.
7 a.m. Eastern time for our next edition of today's Antidote, where we will wrap up our week and month talking about branding. How about that?
Wow.
That was good that I was able to remember all of that.
That's it. That was good.
And if you're struggling with identifying what does success mean for your brand, or what your brand is altogether, personal, professional, or how to share it, the Renegade Success Network is a great place to help you get to where you want to be. We'll set up with goals and take you all the way to get to that next step. And we'll take those next steps until you find the success you're looking for. So here's some further information about the Renegade Success Network. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you soon.
Are you struggling to make your vision a reality? Are you stuck and don't know what to do next? Are fear and doubt holding you back? The Renegade Success Network will help you determine the next steps on your pathway. Here is some of what you will get. Create your pathway call to start you on a better path. Unlimited laser solution sessions to keep you from getting stuck. Nurture your network events to build your network with other successful leaders. Monthly Renegade challenges to prepare you for what lies ahead. The Renegade Success Vault, giving you access to videos, tools, and tips on specific topics anytime you need them. And the Renegade Success Network community, an exclusive Facebook group of like-minded renegades, all working towards achieving their goals. You have a choice. Do it yourself and fumble forward slowly and alone. Or join the Renegade Success Network and be part of a community built to help you find your own pathway. Join today at renegadesuccessnetwork.com. Act now and jumpstart your journey on your own pathway to success.